Hello, my name is Brandon Ramacco, and today I'd like to cover an exercise that helps for sort of clicky knees or knees that sort of feel a little bit of pressure in, just don't quite feel right. Now, there can be a lot of issues with knees that can cause problems. This exercise is going to fix all of those. And this isn't the only exercise that you might need to get your knees feeling good, but this is a very useful exercise. You can also use this exercise as a test. If you try this exercise, you're like, holy heck, this exercise is ridiculously difficult. Well, then you need the exercise. So to begin, this exercise focuses on trying to pull the knees together as strongly as possible as you straighten the knees. This exercise is particularly useful for people who have sort of clicky knees. Right? So I can push the knees together and outwards. Now, if you have clicky knees, if you do this, you might get very, very loud clicks and pops. That's a sign that you need to do the exercise. So you can push them together, and as you're pushing together as hard as you can, you straighten the legs. Now, the way I'm doing it is also a little bit of an ab exercise. And once you've done that, and if that's strong, you can try variations, because in theory, your body should be able to do any variation. So legs together like this. Now, sometimes guys' testicles are in the way. You sometimes have to move them out of the way. So this is one version. I could angle my knees outwards and put sort of the heels together. That's another version. This one I'm a little shaky on. This one I probably need to do. The other version is sort of knees together but feet apart. And you don't necessarily need to put your knees together. Some people prefer to put a cushion or something between their knees, and they find that that works for them like that. Now, if you don't want to combine it with an ab exercise, you could do it along the floor, either with carpet, socks on a smooth floor like this, or just putting down a towel. That's something that allows your foot to slide easily. I could also do it up here, right? I can do it along, different variations. And again, if it's difficult, then you need to do it. If it's easy, you don't need to do it. It's a quick, easy check. Now, this exercise, it works great for most people, works great on myself. I've tried this with patients with pretty good success. Again, not every exercise fixes every problem, but it's helped most people with clicky knees sort of get rid of that clickiness. In terms of how often should you do it, how many reps? Well, in theory, this is a more of neuromuscular re-education type exercise. And we're basically training the inside muscles of the knee to fire as the knee extends. Because we have multiple muscles that attach to our kneecaps, and if the muscle coordination is off, that can contribute to discomfort in the knee. So we're training the coordination. And so this is brain training, like brain practice. It's like practicing an instrument, learning an instrument. You can practice an instrument multiple times a day, every day. In fact, that's probably the best way to learn an instrument, every day. So in a similar way, this exercise could be done multiple times a day, every single day. If you try that and your muscles are sore, then there's a muscle weakness as well. And you should take a rest day to let your muscles recover. Now, I was reminded of this exercise quite recently because my knee sort of felt off about a week or two ago, and I tested out this exercise and it was really shaky, and I was like, oh, I need to do this exercise, I need to tune it up. Now, my knees weren't really bothering me, so what I did was I just added it into my leg day exercises. So I did it maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and my knees feel nice and good now. And as I said, as I was doing this video, this version with the knees apart is a little shaky, so I'm still going to throw that into my next leg day. And really, I should throw it in my leg day every once in a while just to make sure my body stays in tip-top shape. Right? Sadly, we need to do a little maintenance to keep things running well. Our physical capabilities, they shrink to what we expose our body to on a day-to-day basis. And it shrinks faster and faster as we age. So if we don't push our boundaries, if we don't do different exercises, using different combinations of muscles in different ways, our body doesn't know how to anymore. It forgets. It can't do it. And it's a good idea, even if you do this exercise, you get all the way to where your knees are feeling good, it's not clicking, don't forget about this exercise. Still check it once a month, once every 2 months, to make sure your knees are still functioning. Sort of catch it before your knees are bothering you a lot. If your knees are just bothering you a little bit, maybe test this exercise again. But how many should you do? Like how many sets, how many reps? What's the numbers? Well, there's no perfect number for everybody. It sort of depends on your situation. For myself, when I had a lot of knee clicking many years ago, clicking with every step, couldn't really do squats, it was clicking so bad. For me, I felt it was more neuromuscular re-education that I needed. I was doing 2 to 5 repetitions every single time I sat down. So that might have been like 10 times a day, 20 times a day. Maybe not every time I sat down, but every time I remembered, sat down for dinner, did a couple, got up, sat down to go read, did a couple, moved to the couch, watch a movie, did a couple, and that helped. Day after day, I got better and better. My knees clicked less and less as I did the exercise. And by the time my knees didn't click at all when I did the exercise, and the exercise was easy, I was doing stairs, I was doing squats, and there was no clicking anymore. Now, if you do the exercise and you're sore, that means you have a lot of muscle weakness and you're building muscle, in which case you should switch to the muscle building routine. Whenever you're trying to muscle build, you don't want to do exercises every single day because you need a rest day. You need time for your muscles to recover. So if your muscles are sore, give yourself a rest day. If you're focusing on that muscle building aspect, you're going to do 2 to 4 sets, and each set should be to failure until your muscles are just too tired to maintain the form. Maintain that intense pressure inwards at the same time as you're pushing outwards. If you've lost form, if you can't keep your knees together and that's what you're trying to do, if they're shaking too much, they're too weak, well, you've lost form. So that, for some people, that might be 3. For other people, that might be 20. So if I had to guess for sort of that muscle building combined with the neuromuscular re-education, that would be every second or third day. That would be 2 to 4 sets of about 10 to 20. And that should be good for both neuromuscular re-education at the same time as increasing muscle strength in your muscles. So I hope this helps. I hope you found this informative. I wish you all the best. Cheers.